Deep within the forests of Brazil, where sunlight can barely pass through the canopy of giant trees, there exists a story that has traveled through generations. A story whispered by indigenous peoples, repeated by hunters, and respected by all those who have ventured into the dense jungles of Brazil. They say that anyone who enters the forest is never truly alone. Something is watching, something ancient, silent, and fiercely protective of everything that lives there. This being is known as the Curupira, a mysterious creature that, according to legend, watches over every tree, every animal, and every hidden path beneath the shadows of the forest. Many accounts begin the same way, a canoe slowly gliding along a dark river that cuts through the forest. The gentle sound of the paddles breaking the water's surface blends with the distant singing of birds and the whisper of the wind through the leaves. Suddenly, a different sound emerges from afar, a dry, repetitive noise, like knocks echoing from tree trunks hidden deep among the trees. Those who know the forest recognize the sound immediately. It is not the wind. It is not an animal. They are signals, signs that the guardian of the forest may be nearby, silently watching every movement of those who dare enter his territory. According to the oldest stories, the Curupira is the protective spirit of the forests. For many indigenous peoples, he is not merely a mythical creature, but a real presence that maintains the balance of nature. His purpose is simple and relentless: to protect the forest and all the living beings within it. Animals, trees, rivers, and plants are all under his constant watch. And anyone who attempts to destroy this balance may eventually face the wrath of this mysterious guardian. The appearance of the Curupira is described in many different ways depending on the region of Brazil, but some details appear in nearly every version of the legend. He is often portrayed as a small but agile being, incredibly fast and difficult to follow. His hair, often described as bright red or the color of fire, seems to glow within the shadows of the forest. Some say his eyes shine with an intense red glow, as if they carry the very fury of the jungle itself. Others claim his body is covered in thick fur, giving him an even more wild and primitive appearance. Yet one characteristic never changes in the stories. The Curupira's feet are turned backwards. This strange feature is not merely a curious detail, it is one of the creature's most clever defenses. When the Curupira walks through the forest, his footprints point in the opposite direction of where he is actually going. Anyone attempting to follow his tracks will be led down the wrong path. Hunters who tried to pursue him often ended up hopelessly lost in the jungle, wandering in circles for hours or even days, unable to find their way back. The legend also says that the Curupira possesses many supernatural abilities. He is incredibly fast and moves through the forest with a speed that is almost impossible to track. Some say he can appear in multiple places at once, vanishing and reappearing between the trees like a living shadow of the forest itself. Others believe he can create mysterious sounds to confuse those who enter his domain. Sharp whistles, knocks echoing through the trees, distant cries, and unexplained noises are often attributed to the presence of this invisible guardian point. One of the most frightening stories about the Curupira involves his ability to deceive hunters. According to legend, he can transform into an animal to lure those who hunt out of greed. A hunter might spot a beautiful deer or a large wild boar and begin chasing it through the forest. The animal always seems to stay just ahead, appearing briefly between the trees before vanishing again moments later. The hunter follows deeper and deeper into the jungle, convinced he is about to capture his prey. But suddenly, the animal disappears. By the time the man realizes what has happened, he is already lost in the heart of the forest, far from any known trail. Some stories are even more disturbing. Certain accounts claim that the Curupira can create illusions to punish those who disrespect nature. A hunter may believe he has finally killed his prey, only to discover that something completely different lies on the ground. In some stories, the body transforms into someone familiar, a friend, a relative, or a loved one. The shock and terror serve as a powerful reminder that the forest does not tolerate cruelty or destruction without reason. Despite his terrifying reputation, the Curupira is not considered purely evil. Many stories say that he does not persecute those who hunt simply to survive. People who live in harmony with the forest and respect its natural cycles are rarely targets of his anger. In fact, some hunters claim they have received help from the Curupira himself. In certain stories, he offers unfailing weapons or reveals the best places to find animals. But this help is never free. The Curupira demands offerings, tobacco, food, or drink, and above all, one important promise: absolute secrecy about any encounter with him. The existence of this legend is extremely ancient. The first known written record was made in the 16th century by the Portuguese Jesuit priest José de Anchieta. In his letters, he described indigenous accounts of forest spirits called Curupiras, beings who punished those who entered the jungle without respect. To European colonizers of the time, these stories sounded like superstition or tales of demons. But for indigenous peoples, the Curupira was something far deeper, a symbol of the forest defending itself. Over the centuries, the figure of the Curupira spread throughout different regions of Brazil and began to merge with other creatures from Brazilian folklore. In some places, his stories intertwine with those of the mysterious Capra. In others, he appears alongside the mischievous Saisai. Despite these variations, the role of the Curupira has never truly changed. He remains the guardian of the forest, the entity that protects animals and plants from those who seek to destroy them. Today, many scholars believe the legend of the Curupira carries an important message. Long before environmental laws or modern discussions about conservation existed, these stories already taught people the importance of respecting nature's balance. The fear of the Curupira served as a warning to reckless hunters and forest exploiters. It reminded them that every tree cut down and every animal killed without necessity could bring consequences. Even today, in regions close to Brazil's vast forests, some people still claim to hear strange sounds during the night. Whistles echoing between the trees, invisible footsteps among the leaves, or mysterious knocks coming from distant trunks. Perhaps it is only animals. Perhaps it is just the wind moving through the jungle. Or perhaps it is something much older, something that still silently watches those who walk beneath the trees. Because according to the old legend, the forest may seem silent, but that does not mean it is empty. Somewhere among the shadows of those towering trees, the Curupira may still be walking, and with his backward feet, he continues to confuse anyone who dares forget that the forest has a guardian. Herb fire,